What's going on, family? I'm Angel. This is the Vazquez Report. And for part 2 of this episode, I wanted to delve deeper into this whole Affordable Care Act premium about to expire thing that's going on, and is the basis for the argument against voting for in favor of it in order to fund the government. Did you know that the Affordable Care Act actually increased the price of health care or health insurance for families over 38% since its enactment? If you didn't know that, or you think I'm lying, let's look at the facts. Look at this chart and see when the Affordable Care Act was signed into law and when it was implemented. And look and see how health insurance went up 38% above the pre-Affordable Care Act trend. Look at how much the price has risen. From around $2,000 in annual expenditures to double that in the current price, or as of this chart, 2023 levels. If you need more testimony, look no further than Data Republican on X, who is an independent internet researcher. When the Affordable Care Act took effect on the year 2010, the average family premium was about $13,000. Today, it is $23,986, far above the inflation-adjusted $19,381. That is absolutely ridiculous. So it went up $10,986 from 2010 to now. Now you may be thinking, okay, that's all well and good. You know, you gave me some facts and some graphs and some statistical information, and that's all good. But are there any real life examples? Why, there is. Listen to this average American and listen to what she says she has gone through since the Affordable Care Act was signed into law and enacted.
$3 a month for my health care off the marketplace, and I have a $9,600 deductible, no out-of-network coverage, a $50 copay in-network, no labs, no imaging.
Okay, we have graph information, we have internet researcher information, we have real life American citizens information. Now, let's listen to even a left-wing newspaper say that the Affordable Care Act isn't so affordable. According to this left-wing newspaper, the Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, the real problem is that the Affordable Care Act was never actually affordable. President Obama's signature achievement allowed people to buy insurance on marketplaces with subsidies based on their income. The architects of this program assumed that risk pools were bigger than they turned out to be. As a result, policies cost more than expected. Earlier in the article, they said this, yet Democrats have demanded that Republicans agree to extend COVID-era insurance subsidies without proposing any way to pay for it. The Congressional Budget Office estimates this will cost $350 billion over the next 10 years. These temporary benefits were included in the American Rescue Plan of March 2021 and extended the next year in the misnamed Inflation Reduction Act until the end of 2025. And I know what you're thinking. The Affordable Care Act was supposed to make health insurance and health care cheaper for Americans. But who did it really benefit? The health insurance companies. They made out like fat cats. And let's look at statistical information to back up that claim. According to independent researcher Data Republican, the ACA may have been affordable for those with large subsidies, but it was unaffordable for many small businesses and self-employed families. It is very affordable, however, for insurance companies. Blue Cross made over $400 million in profit last year. Here's another example. Highmark Health revenues increased 9% year over year to $29.4 billion, reports $50 million net income through year-end 2024 despite industry challenges. And here goes an explanation of the stock prices and how health insurance companies beat the S&P 500 in growth during the enactment of the Affordable Care Act from 2010 to 2024.
Now listen to this closely. Furthermore, the stock performance of major health insurers has surged since the Affordable Care Act's enactment. Watch these numbers. From 2010 to 2024, the weighted average of health insurer stock prices increased by 1,032%. Well, that was caused by a run-up in the stock market. Okay, here's part 2. From 2010 to 2024, the weighted average of health insurer stock prices increased 1,032%, far outpacing the S&P's 500's growth of 251% over the same period.
You don't have to be great at math to realize how much of a percentage difference that is. 1,032 to 251%. Health insurance did way better than the stock market. Let's listen to the actual percentage though.
So class, if we take Mr. Calculator and we go 1,032 minus 251, that means that the health insurance companies outperformed the rest of the market 781%.
I know what you're probably thinking. All this information is all well and good, but if they repealed Obamacare, is there an alternative? Well, there is, and there's a resolution that's been introduced as a bill into the House of Representatives by Representative Andy Biggs. Let's take a look. Here is the H.R. 114 introduced by Representative Andy Biggs in the House of Representatives. It is a resolution that would ask to repeal the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act and the Health Care and Education Reconciliation Act of 2010 by basically taking back the enactment of the Affordable Care Act and putting healthcare back the way it was, as if the Education Reconciliation Act of 2010 had not been enacted in the first place. The act itself in this bill may be cited as the responsible path to full Obamacare Repeal Act. If you ask me, any type of health care other than Obamacare is better for the American people. And if Obamacare was so great, it wouldn't have to be so heavily subsidized by the American taxpayers in order for them to get even a regular rate. But scratch that. They're not paying regular rates. They're paying way more. And the only people that are benefiting are the health insurance companies, not the American people. That's it for part 2. Part 3 coming at you next.